Hey guys, it's Paradise, and are you looking for a brand new action game to sink some time into? Well, an upcoming action RPG just dropped its biggest reveal yet, and Honor of Kings World has been on people's radar for a while now, and we finally got a brand new trailer and full gameplay demo showing exactly why. A huge thank you to Timmy Studios for sponsoring this video and sharing a ton of footage for us to break down. So let's break things down, point out some of the coolest details, and get you up to speed on everything so far. Before we jump into the footage though, let's talk about what the game actually is and what you can expect when you finally get your hands on it. Honor of Kings World is an Eastern fantasy multiplayer action RPG being developed by Timmy Studio, the same team behind the insanely popular Honor of Kings MOBA in China. If you haven't heard of it, basically it's their equivalent to League of Legends. But this time, they're building something on a much grander scale, targeting PC and mobile with a focus on fast-paced combat, a massive open world, and deep RPG systems. When the first reveal trailer dropped, the reaction was huge because of the visuals and the flashy combat. Since then, details have been trickling out, but this new gameplay gives us a far better idea of how it all comes together, particularly the multiplayer part. What makes Honor of Kings World stand out from other big RPGs is its roots as an Eastern RPG. Instead of leaning on Western fantasy themes, it pulls directly from Chinese mythology and culture, and that really shows in the design of the world, the characters, and the monsters. The environments have ancient temples hidden in forests, sprawling mountainsides, and dungeons inspired by mythological legends. It's a world built around mystery, with each region tied into the folklore that inspired it. Even the bosses we've seen so far, like Baifang, which we'll talk about soon, are drawn straight from centuries-old myths. The developers are saying it gives the game a different feel compared to other action RPGs. But the game isn't just about beautiful landscapes and fantastical worlds. The combat looks pretty intense, like, look at this.
Freeze!
Hear my arrows sing!
Well, now you've seen the combat, you probably want to know what's possible with it, and an exciting part of it is the dual-class combat system. You can equip two classes at once and switch between them mid-fight, almost like a tag team setup in a fighting game. This opens up crazy combo potentials, for example, pairing a fast close-ranged fighter with a long-ranged caster so you can adapt to any situation on the fly. Previously, there was a demo and impressions that press got to try of different classes in the game, and there was styles from blade masters to hammer wielders and longbow specialists and even defensive juggernauts. It's good to see that the weapon variety in the game is looking pretty strong so far, with us seeing things like ringed blades, lances, bows, hammers, swords, and each have their own flashy abilities and combo chains. From what's been shown, combat is all about fluid movement and impactful attacks. We know that you'll be able to land attacks and follow up with unique ability finishers that dish out big damage. On the defensive side, we've also seen that you can dodge, parry, and block incoming attacks quickly and rapidly. It even has some of the more traditional action game mechanics, like monsters having posture bars, so you can break them to get a bigger window to unload damage on them. Also, while the game is clearly built to be a solid single-player experience, it does include multiplayer. You'll be able to team up with friends for boss hunts and dungeons, and the developers have hinted that larger scale modes could be coming later. Now that you know what the game is, let's take a deeper look at the new trailer, which is all about the world and story of Honor of Kings World. Near the start of the trailer, we get to see the main character and some of the heroes roaming around the world and various story cutscenes. However, we catch a glimpse of a red-haired character who doesn't seem too fond of the main character and is possibly an antagonist. The real stars here, though, are the bosses. We see a lineup of mechanical, mythical-inspired monsters within the trailer. We saw a hulking golem, an enormous fish, and a fierce bird that each seem to be lurking in their own dungeon environment. They look pretty menacing, with some clearly being designed to push you through multiple phases, with mechanic-heavy battles, which is really cool to see and definitely is something we're excited to try out. One of the quick highlights of the trailer shows the flow style system in action though, as you can see the main character has an equipped ability from another hero. The developers have explained that the flow system lets your main character learn combat styles from other heroes, effectively creating your own custom hybrid fighting style. Now that is it for the trailer, but we do have a ton of juicy gameplay footage. The gameplay demo focuses on one boss fight, Baifang. This boss is inspired by an ancient Chinese myth from the classic of mountains and seas. In legend, Baifang is a one-legged bird with a blue body and red markings, often seen as an omen of fire. Before reaching the fight, there's a short puzzle sequence where players stand on pressure pads to link pillars, unlocking the boss room, which is pretty cool and shows that the dungeons won't just be a boss rush and that you will actually have other objectives to do. The demo is set up as a 4-player co-op battle, but even in multiplayer, each player can still switch characters mid-fight. This is useful because we see them exploiting the boss's weaknesses, which of course are needed for dealing additional damage. In the gameplay, ice attacks cause a weakness indicator, which is highlighted above Baifang's health bar. This is the same when the footage switches to another character using another element, which is a great quality of life feature. As for the rest of the combat, we get to see some of the things we've mentioned previously in action properly. We get to see a perfect example of a break in actual gameplay. As we can see, shattering the boss's posture leaves it wide open for dealing huge damage. Also, the abilities are shown which look awesome and are definitely some hype moments. The best example of this is one character using a time freeze ability which slows Baifang down and gives the whole team another DPS window. You can tell that the game is going to get pretty crazy, as there's a part in the trailer where the real chaos begins and Baifang goes absolutely wild, throwing out attacks in all directions. Some players chain together dodges into parry bonuses, while others hold their ground by blocking. At one point, we even see a player grapple and swing above the danger entirely, so it's great to see there's a bunch of different options that you have. But on the other side of this, it's not all smooth sailing. One teammate gets taken out, forcing another to burn their ultimate to slow the boss so they can revive him. But then after that, we see even more ultimates like Eternal Frost, which locks Baifang in place and is a damage-heavy move that absolutely shreds its health bar. So from what we've seen of the gameplay, it is looking pretty cool. We haven't been able to try it ourselves yet, but we are cautiously optimistic as the gameplay looks great and the combat is definitely looking spicy. For those that want to see the gameplay and trailer in its full glory though, we'll roll the latest versions here so you can see for yourself how the game is shaping up.
After an ageless slumber, the primal flow awakens once more.
It is fate that brought us together.
Shisha, such a pathetic place.
Who is this guy? What does he want?
Your ignorance is despicable.
A power stirs deep beneath us. Whatever's lurking, it's behind this gate.
The ground is shaking! It's people!
We have to take it down!
How long have they been trapped in here?
Be it destiny or chaos, I shall break the cycle!
Time for the final reckoning.
Shield of ice!
Time to run! Time! Freeze!
Hear my arrows sing!
Bolts unleashed!
Power strike! Accelerate!
Here's the wind!
Get lost in time!
Eternal frost! Civilization endures!
Primal, take shape!
Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.